These are the best summertime fragrances that you can get right now.
Here's some codes to save you some cash on your next Middle Eastern niche or designer fragrances.
What's going on, guys? My name is Neeb. Welcome back to AROMATIX. Today we're going to be talking about the best summertime fragrances that you gentlemen out there can grab right now. And we're coming around, unfortunately, the end of summertime. Wait a minute, Neeb. There's like 3 months of summer. I don't know, bro. I'm so bad with seasons, okay? But that's the script that I just put. I don't have a script. Anyways, these are. Let's just get into the damn video. Hit the subscribe button and let's go. In the #1 spot, but there's absolutely no actual number system to this one, so that means absolutely nothing, is Roja's Elysium. Elysium is, gentlemen, it's been on this list. It's gonna be on this list forever, genuinely. I genuinely don't think that there's gonna be something that tops this or really does what it does better. They've done the Eau Intense, which is a great flanker, but if you're going for the one, this is the one. Summertime elegance in a bottle. Aromatics, it's got some vanilla, maybe even some leather. The ambergris smells relatively naturalistic. A lot of these aromatics in it as well, certain spices. It smells like a Sprite remix, but if you're that, or if you're a person who doesn't like herbal accord, you're probably not gonna like this. For beginners, it's generally speaking not the safest, but one of the best to get into. The only reason I say that is because of the fact that most beginners are looking for something that's just fresh and basic and not as herbal as this. With that being said though, this is probably one of the most successful beginner niche fresh fragrances. So take it for what you will. I love this fragrance. I'll always have it. And if you spray it on like you should spray it on, which is about 8 to 10 times, it'll last about 7 to 8 hours, okay? Give yourself some time in between sprays and don't spray it all in the same place. Also get some of your clothing as well so you can stretch out the longevity. I've never had a problem getting more or less than, I never get less than 6 hours with this one. If you go out and you sweat, obviously you're gonna sweat off your fragrance as well. In terms of the occasion, spring and summertime is where it'll do the best. You can dress it up, you can dress it down, it'll do better dressed up. It smells like $1,000,000 basically. So a lot of people will argue whether or not it's worth the price tag because of the fact that its longevity is not the best. I personally think so. Just learn how to spray it basically. This one specifically, okay? It is what it is, okay? It is what it is. I've unlocked the code of getting more than 5 hours with this and it's just great a little bit. Moving on to the next one is gonna be from Arabian Oud and this is called Solid Black, an essential in every man's fragrance collection, especially if you like powerhouses, because that's exactly what Arabian Oud is. It smells like a musky vanilla and fruits, basically. In terms of the projection and the performance, this is monstrous stuff. Projection for 4 hours is solid, just like the name of the fragrance. Although the fragrance bottle, it doesn't really look like anything that, I mean, I don't know where Solid Black, who knows? Maybe I'm missing something that they know. Still a great fragrance, one of the best for the summertime, and a very highly complimented one. Check the links down in the description for reputable sources where you can get real ones and for the lowest prices. Moving on to the next one, this is kind of, I wouldn't necessarily say a hidden gem. If you're in the fragrance community, then you probably already heard about this, but if not, for those who are just coming in, this is called Bohemian Line by Goldfield and Banks. This actually smells much better than I gave it credit for, and it's usually, well, I mean, with some fragrances that'll happen where it starts to shift into something a little bit better in the dry down. It's this lime and woody fragrance, a lot of woods actually. There's vetiver, there's cedar, there's sandalwood, and as this one starts to dry down, I can detect a bit more of this aromatic nature from the finger lime that's in this fragrance basically. But also the coriander does start to shine as well once this one starts to dry down, giving it more than just this generic citrus and woods fragrance. In the opening, that's what I thought it was going to be, but as it started to dry down, I was getting wafts of this, you know, initially when I had first smelled this, and I started to really fall in love. This is an addicting ass fragrance for sure. I wasn't expecting for it to be that good, and I definitely was not expecting for it to be one of the ones that I keep in the all-time 10 for the summertime, but it absolutely is. In terms of longevity, it gives me about 7 hours. I would say 7 to 8 hours because of its woody nature. That really lingers on for the most part is what you're gonna end up with. And the occasions, obviously, it's going to be the hottest of summer heats. I wouldn't necessarily, well, honestly, yeah, I would personally wear this like on a beach date, etc., something like that. Otherwise, it can be a little bit too much on the woods and the spices if you wear it out of season. It would be kind of strange. Moving on to the next one is PDM's Perseus. These guys know how to get compliments because they create fragrances that project. Not only that, they produce quality stuff, genuinely. Sure, it's only, you know, a couple of accords that I personally get, like ambroxan, maybe a hint of spice, if any, and then the woods, the vetiver, citrus, vetiver, ambroxan. But again, they've shown us that simple DNAs can be excellent in terms of, it all just comes down to basically the execution of the fragrance, and that's exactly what this one has, is the execution. I would say that the compliment factor is pretty high, although the scent profile is relatively simple, and like with many other fresh fragrances, in general, simple is beautiful, but it's the execution almost always. I have smelled stuff like this before, but nothing touches this quality, period. In terms of the performance, it pretty much lasts like 8 to 9 hours, which is excellent. And in terms of the occasion, anything during the summertime. If you want to dress it up, you can, but I personally don't find it to have any like sexy, factors to it or sex appeal. But it's still fun, it's still bright, and it's still refreshing, and it will still get compliments. Moving on to the next one, this is called Herba Gold. In my opinion, hands down, the best flanker out of all of them. Modernizes it up, takes away some of those synthetic openings, just the loud fruits, and it tames it with some musky nature that's slightly vanillic. Much easier to wear and much more tame in terms of how synthetic it smells. Still projecting, still lasts all day, and this is one that I would say personally I could rock up to a date. It just has a certain refinement that other fragrances on this list might not, that makes it appropriate for dates for sure. It's that musky nature that softens things out, that gets attention while also being something that it's soft, and approachable basically. Moving on to the next one, this is Roja's Burlington 1819. It's been on this list, it's always gonna be on this list. This smells like a wine cooler, smells like a man on a yacht with $1 million bucks, basically.
A year's salary right here. What I call them? Fun coupons. See that? A fun coupon.
Performs, also has an herbal nature to it, a lot of aromatics. It smells like $1 million bucks, man. High quality ingredients coming from the House of Roja with this one, and one that I will never live without, genuinely. I think it smells like gold, like summertime gold. Dress it up. You can dress it down, but I would personally say it just smells too good to dress down. So dates, etc., $1 million right there. Moving on to the next one is cooling. It's refreshing. This is one that will definitely impress and almost thirst quench. It's called First Sight by the Gate Paris. This fragrance smells like a lemon sorbet, like lemon snow cone. It's not anything that's going to be overly sweet, not anything that's going to be, extremely sour. It smells like a creamy, without having any lactonic aspects, lemon, basically. Green and fresh in the opening, and it starts to dry down into something a bit more aromatic and woody. I think it has some sage and cedar in the dry down. It smells expensive, it smells thirst quenching, and you should at the very least try and get your nose on this fragrance because it smells like one of these vibes. If these are your vibes, that whole tropical smelling like $1 million, First Sight is one that you should absolutely get your nose on. I usually I had a bunch of little decant travel sizes that were about 5 mLs, I believe, in my car, and I ran through literally 4 of those. I've gotten quite a few compliments while rocking them, and it's been my go-to if I've been forgetting a fragrance during the day. Worth checking out, First Sight, a sleeper fragrance. Moving on to the next one, will absolutely stay in my collection. This is Aquatic, it's woody, it's got a little bit of incense and a lot of olibanum. It's called Qissa Capri. 200 mLs for under 150 bucks of beast mode performing fresh aquatic fragrance. Yeah, say less, but be careful because it can be very strong if you spray this one on. And I don't know about dates, etc., but if you want to be heard, you're gonna be heard. You're gonna be smacking with that fragrance right there. It lasts all day, smells like $1 million bucks. Capri will always be in my collection. In terms of the occasions, summertime, but this is a fresher you can even wear during the entire year because of its longevity and its performance. Actually, that's kind of the case with a few of these other fragrances like Herba and also Solid Black, even First Sight, but obviously some of them will do better during the summertime. This one, however, has like crazy performance, man. Crazy performance. I realized that I didn't talk about First Sight's performance. With First Sight, I get about 8 to 9 hours. And for the most part, once it starts to dry down, I start to get the aromatic woody combination. For the occasions, this is flirty, it's fun, it's summertime, but also summer dates as well. It's thirst quenching, like I said, and definitely has this youth factor while still having a sophistication to it. Smells expensive and approachable at the same time. This one, however, I wouldn't necessarily say is going to be like the most approachable. You're gonna smell masculine, woody, and aquatic. So that's what I think about this one. Price value on this one is definitely a 10 out of 10. Moving on to the next one, this is Xerjoff's Mefisto. With this one, there isn't any petitgrain and it kind of smells like a more naturalistic take on that style DNA. It's still very borderline metallic. It's still there, but not nearly as prominent, and I think it smells a bit more natural. For now, this is going to be on the list, but I have grabbed the Gentiluomo and I'm going to be testing it to see whether or not it's actually better. But this still smells like $1 million bucks. This is something that I would personally dress up even to dates during the summertime. You're gonna smell like you have money, but still kind of has that whole silver vibe that's in the backbone of this DNA. Does it in a more naturalistic way, as simple as that. In terms of longevity, it actually lasts all day. It actually lasts all freaking day, and the occasions, like I said, you can dress this one up. Last one on this list, I actually love this one, and I think it's one of my favorite from the house. It's called Mind Games Blockade. Mind Games Blockade has like mango skin, it's got star anise, ambro star, ambro fix, I believe it might be. Actually, no, it's ambro star. Even oud and patchouli in the base of this fragrance. Smells like $1,000,000, you guys. The only thing that I would personally improve on this one is going to be the longevity, but have no fear, because if you spray it on about 8 to 12 times, it'll last you a good 7 hours. So slightly average to above average performance if you overspray it. Smells amazing though, genuinely. It's got like this oak, mossy woods, mango style DNA. One of the best ones from Mind Games. Absolutely love this fragrance. In terms of longevity, you could squeeze out above average performance if you overspray it a little bit, and honestly I have no problem overspraying it because it's not offensive whatsoever. Mango skin, star anise, aromatics, some wet woods, and then that dry down of the patchouli and oud. This is a phenomenal fragrance. So I just wish I could squeeze a bit more performance out of this one. But because of that, it makes this more appropriate for dates, summertime, when you want to go into meetings, etc. You want to smell exotic and tropical, but you don't want to do it in any way that might even get close to being offensive. A great fragrance. You don't have to buy at retail. I think it's pretty pricey. Check the link down in the description where you can save some money while picking this bad boy up. And that's pretty much all I have to say about this one. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, the top 10 men's summer fragrances of 2024. I'm always getting new fragrances literally by the week, and these are some that have standed through the test of time and fragrance hauls, and they're still here and they're still on this list. So stay tuned to see how these stack up to the future releases and to the next couple years. Hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Make sure to leave a like, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.